too.
Every day I'm just getting these fucking like crazy. I don't know.
Shitty.
Yeah. Maybe it's a tumor and I'll die.
It's not the tumor.
It's probably a tumor and I'll die. If I die, carry on.
Hey guys. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
It's not the tumor. Put the cookie down now.
Maybe it's a tumor.
Welcome to Bacon is My Podcast.
Yeah.
He is Jim, who's got limited life left.
I
am Mike, and we're going to bring you a rousing show.
Yeah. Yeah, cool band. Cool band called Sucker Punch. Mostly from Jersey.
Yeah, mostly from Jersey.
Kind of from all over the place, but mostly from Jersey.
Yeah. And they were really cool. Took a minute to like warm up a little bit, but
yeah, that happens.
Once we crack that shell,
we wear on you. We're
we're
like a fungus.
Like a fungi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's two of us.
Yeah.
Fungi.
And we're fun.
We're a couple of fun guys. You get it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, with that said, we do have to pay some bills. And we want to thank Poddex. We want to thank Grill Your Ass Off. And we want to thank drinkwildbills.com.
Yeah.
For being sponsors for the show. And you can go to any of their websites. Poddex.com, grillyourassoff.com, drinkwildbills.com. Use the promo code BACON. And you will enjoy 10% off, and you'll also help the show.
Yeah, we're also brought to you by our peeps over at patreon.com/bacon is my podcast. Our BIMP squad, our patrons, thank you guys so much for supporting us and supporting the show. If you want to check that stuff out, there's just more shows, more content, different content, tastings, cooking, live shows, all kinds of fun stuff. Live streams,
stuff.
Yes. So check that out and consider becoming a patron. And with that being said, let's get into this chat.
Yeah, I mean, we got into a lot of things. It was really cool. We talked about foods.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about wrestling. We talk about movies. We talk about
Wawa versus Sheetz.
Yeah. I mean, there's no
fast
contest,
foods.
Obviously.
We talk about fast foods.
And most importantly, we talk about the band that is Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
So really cool guys, really awesome band. Make sure you check them out before, after, whenever.
Whatever's convenient for you.
Right. Just not this second. Just listen to the show, and then you can do it.
And then check them out. Yeah.
Right.
Or pause.
Or pause it
and then
check
come
it.
back.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's going to start right
now.
I'll let you do it. This is Make-A-Wish.
Oh, now.
Because he's got a tumor.
Now.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
You love your weekly dose of bacon as my podcast, but you need even more bacon. Well, just go over to baconismypodcast.com. You can engage even more with us over there. It's a pathway to our music, extra content, our social media pages. Most importantly, grab yourself some pretty sweet swag and put it all over your body parts. Again, that's baconismypodcast.com. Listen to some tunes, pick up some merch, and tell us, what's your bacon?
What's up, everybody? Welcome again to another riveting edition of Bacon is My Podcast. Today, we welcome Chris. We welcome Andy from the band Sucker Punch. Gentlemen, how are you?
Fantastic. Doing great.
That was a dynamite intro.
It was one of those things where I think I had it kind of put together.
Yeah.
But as I was cruising through the words, I was like, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up.
You nailed it.
Yeah,
Crushed
cool.
it, bro. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
That was excellent.
A plus.
Everybody gets one. That's my
That's very good.
That's my philosophy.
Andy, Chris, where are you guys coming to us from today?
I'm coming from. I live in Virginia Beach,
So I'm in Virginia Beach. I'm up here in Bloomfield, New Jersey. So I'm like 15 minutes outside of New York City.
Nice. You're near us. We're in Long Island.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Bloomfield, New Jersey. I once played the Bloomfield Cafe.
Nice.
Okay.
Which was a lot of fun. I actually think the night before Terror played. So we showed up, like we were the day show, and we show up and they were like, you can't go in there. And we were like, well, why not? Like kids were like ripping the asbestos tiles off the floor, and they had like a bakery case, and that got smashed. And yeah, good times. They were very, very not nice.
Yeah, that's a hard show to follow.
Yeah. Yep. Believe me, we didn't. We didn't.
Have you ever played the Meat Locker?
No, I want to. I don't think. Is it?
I would
open
like
still?
to also.
I think it is. I think that's in Montclair. That's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's the next town over. I think it's gone through a couple like closings and reopenings. I don't even know if they're actually currently booking shows still.
Yeah, it's a place.
Yeah, I've checked out
It's
that
like
place
one of-
before. We haven't played there, but I've definitely checked out that place too.
It's like Super Happy Funland kind of vibe where it's just like I need a tetanus shot after the show, but it's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've seen a lot of hardcore bands. My friend had like an old deathcore band, and at that show, I got like punched right in the face, and boom, just fell right to the ground, right at the beginning of the set. So,
Oh, shit.
yeah.
I stay out of pits these days for that exact reason. The last time I was in one, I got maced.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
too old. I'm too old for the piss anymore. That was back in my Bamboozle and Warped Tour days. I'm over that.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I every time I go to a show, I always get tempted. I'm like, oh man, I would love to jump in there, and then I just see the swinging and stuff, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm slow and I recover slowly.
Yeah, I'm way older than I used to be. But
I'm like 5'4" and I get my ass kicked, so I'm too small. There's just no way.
I will
We stand a short king.
I will
Yeah.
recommend to you guys, though, on your next tour, should you go through Houston, Texas, you should definitely book at a venue called Super Happy Funland. It is an experience.
Okay.
I struggle between
So
telling
should we
people.
not do that?
No, you should
No,
absolutely,
you should absolutely
do
do
it.
Okay.
You'll get free chili, and there will be people there. Those two things are guaranteed.
I do love chili. So
Whatever you get out of the rest of it is all kind of, I guess it's your mood walking in, because it's really going to depend.
there's a good chance the chili that you might be able to sample is the same chili that was in that crock pot when he played in 2018.
Oh, awesome. Sounds delicious.
It's
Possibly.
aged chili is good.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Aged to perfection.
It's had
It's
time.
like a fine wine.
It's had time to marinate.
Exactly. So you guys were known as Nude Shoes prior to this. So why the change? What changed the name, the brand, all that stuff? Because I mean, you guys just recently too, you changed all that music over to this like Spotify and all that stuff to Sucker Punch, which had
It's
to have
not
been
easy.
a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's still an ongoing pain in the ass
Right.
as it is now. But essentially, I don't want to speak too much for Andy, but so Andy started Nude Shoes. It was his kind of solo project, and he put out an EP that he wrote, and recorded all by himself. And that's kind of what got the wheels going on the Nude Shoes thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then as we got more members, the sound just started to change. We just kind of wanted to rebrand, restart everything, just, with a new sound, new outlook, just completely put out all the Nude Shoes stuff in the past and just start fresh and move forward with this.
Yep.
Very cool. Now, for when you guys to go back on the road or doing live shows, that kind of stuff, are you going to add that old material to your new sets, or are you going to kind of clean slate it?
I think we're trying to kind of just phase it out slowly, but we are still playing a couple of the older songs, while we're still writing new stuff. Like Couples Django, which was like the big single off of that EP. That'll probably stay in our set for a while. That's a great song. We all love it. Andy loves that song. But that might be the only older song that really sticks around for a while. So we're really just stoked on all the new stuff we're writing and really just want to play as much of it as possible. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I know, like, again, we're in bands too, and whenever you get that new song out, you're just like, all right, done with the old stuff. I'm ready to let's just play a new set. Nobody knows anything. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's just play a new set.
But then you have people in the front row that are like, play this song that I like. You're like, all right.
You
That's
have
right.
that.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm here for you. That's right. That's right. I forget sometimes.
You have that problem. I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
Every set's a new set to everybody, so it doesn't matter.
We'll be right back.
All right. So, we just played the fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw our new sponsor next to us at the fair.
Right.
Right? Any of you that have ever been to festivals, one of the coolest spots to go to is that spot that's selling you sodas where the copper mugs.
Oh, they're the best.
Wild Bill's, dude.
Yes. And you don't just have to go to a fair to get their stuff anymore. You can go to drinkwildbills.com and they'll send it right to your house.
They sent that ginormous box to us.
Huge box
Yeah.
of stuff, and it made me realize that Wild Bill's isn't just soda.
Yeah, I thought it was at first, but man, the jerky and
Nuts and coffee.
Oh man, snack foods, coffee, everything.
And if you go there now, drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, of course, and you get 10% off.
Oh, dude, check it out. Stick with us because we're going to be letting you know how that coffee tastes. We're going to be doing some tasting episodes on literally everything in the box.
Yes.
So stick with us. But, dude, you've had it. You've been at fairs. I've bought it. I bought that mug. It's awesome. I love it.
And now, again, we're heading into the winter months. It's going to get a little colder. No more fairs. Just have it delivered right to your door.
Drinkwildbills.com.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say.
Blah, blah, blah.
Once. Check it out. Promo code BACON.
Hey, this is Cade Katz. You've been listening to Bacon is My Podcast. What's your bacon? These guys are amazing. So thanks for having me, and keep spinning these guys and give them a follow.
So you guys have some stuff coming out soon. This is being seen in December. You said you were telling us that you have stuff coming out in January, stuff coming out in February, possibly March. You want to kind of expand on that a little bit? You've got a video coming out. What's going on there?
So yeah, we're filming a video next weekend. So the weekend of Thanksgiving.
Right.
So we're filming a video for Hope Like Hell. I guess that's slated to come out in January. And then we have another single that's dropping in January as well. I think there's going to be a music video for that too. Right?
Yeah, we're shooting one for that one too. Yep.
And then I think we're also filming another music video for another song that's going to be out. I guess with the EP, I guess when it does come out, I guess we're still trying to figure out the logistics of that. But yeah, there should be about 3 to 4 music videos for this EP. We're really into putting out that visual content. Sorry, my cat's about to cross the screen. Sorry.
That's all right.
Fat man.
Special guest star.
This is Pumpkin. He's giant. Sorry.
Pumpkin is a appropriate name.
Yeah.
For those of you just listening, it's a big orange cat.
Yeah. He's like a 19-pound orange basketball with legs.
The great pumpkin.
Yeah.
A lot like
Nice.
Garfield.
Yeah.
He's massive. Yeah. He's
How
very
much
nosy,
lasagna
too.
does he eat?
He eats a lot of barbecue potato chips. That's what he likes. He's
Really?
He
All right.
he likes to lick the potato chip and then he puts it away. Then he wants cheese, and he's a giant, literally a giant pain in the ass sometimes. But I love him to death.
So he eats like a stoner.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lick off this barbecue dust and then eat some cheese.
Yeah, that's very accurate. That's damn right.
I mean, has his palate evolved to different kind of aged cheeses, or it's Kraft singles just scrape that shit open and
And I think it has evolved. We were starting with the Kroger Stop and Shop kind of generic cheese, and now we're at Sargento. So Sargento is good.
Okay.
So
Sending the big buck.
We've moved up a little bit in the world.
artisanal. If
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, persnickety the cats and shit like that. So that's what we do in our house. So
Nice. Hey, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
Nothing
absolutely.
wrong with it.
Absolutely.
So you guys are putting out all these videos, you're putting out all this content. I know that you kind of adopted right away the whole idea of, and part of it was the pandemic kind of forced everybody to, but you guys were kind of like coming together during that time. You kind of embrace the idea of like, okay, we're not putting out a full record. We're putting out singles, or we're going to put out an EP, and we're going to concentrate on the visual aspect of things and videos, and keep putting things out every couple of months to keep things going. So it seems like you're kind of like right on that curve or ahead of the curve with that, because a lot of people are still trying to like cling on to that old methodology of like, we need to make a record and then we need to tour behind it. And it's like, how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
What is it? Was it not being able to play shows that kind of made you think in terms like that? Or was that always kind of a thing for you guys where you were like, hey, like I put out a record in a month, the record's a month old and everything's old, like what kind of brought you to that?
I'd say a little bit of all of that. I take a lot of inspiration from different genres and kind of everything on the way things run. And Billy and I were talking about how a lot of hip hop and rap artists, they'll put out, you don't see them dropping albums every other year, but they might drop 3 or 4 singles in, 6 months that last them those 6 months, and kind of just stretch out the longevity of whatever they're trying to promote at the time. So we were like, you know what, let's just pump out a ton of singles for now while we work on the full length record, so we can kind of ride the momentum from all these singles over an expanded period of time while promoting this EP. So then when the full length drops, we kind of have more, just much more supporting content leading up to that release.
Right. Yeah. It's smart. It's funny that you brought up like hip hop and stuff, because I tend to think that like rock is so far behind hip hop in a lot of the ways that they're pushing music forward. And when I say rock, like I'm one of those people that encompasses all genres into rock. I'm like, oh, do you have heavy guitars and you're aggressive and you have loud vocals or high or low or whatever? You're a rock band.
I definitely agree with that.
You can be
there's too many subgenres to like,
subgenres.
That, I feel like.
And I think that's one of the things. It's like it pits something against something else all the time. And then it makes it like, well, I like this kind, and that means I can't like that kind, or I do this, so I can't do that. But I was speaking to, it was a weird conversation. It's going to sound like a name drop, but I promise it's not. I was at NAMM, and I actually had like 5 seconds to talk to DJ Ashba, the guitar player of 6 a.m. And it was because he was showing some kind of recording content thing that he was doing, and did like a talk on it, and he was answering questions. And he brought up, he was like, if you look at hip hop, what you have is you have people releasing singles, you have people appearing on each other's records, you have people co-writing with other people. And he was like, and you look over at rock, and people say that like rock is dead and nobody's listening anymore. And it's like, no, it's trying so hard to stay antique. It's not embracing the kind of the commingling of people and bands and new technologies and things like that. And he goes, it's so far behind that's why you're seeing so much more growth in hip hop than you are in rock, and why it's kind of being left behind.
I feel like that's kind of the way it is with pop as well, because again, everything is new, but even here, and I don't know if you guys probably deal with this too. It's like everything is cover bands. Everything is classic rock bands. There's not a lot of modern rock stations out there, because everybody's trying to, like you said, cling on to what there was. And it's like, no, you got to evolve. You got to move forward. You got to change a little bit. You got to change your mode of thinking. So,
I mean, you have like Scorpion or whatever, some 70s, 80s band headlining a festival in like 2020. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like those guys are, it's like super old bands, like they had their heyday or whatever it was, and like that's cool, like, but how
are they still filling places that big? And they're not. They're on a festival, right? But it's like the way I always thought of it was like, you got those bands and they get really big, and then other bands start to get big, and then those bands that were big start to play theaters in Vegas, and then the new bands take over, start doing that, and they're just not letting it happen.
Just holding on.
Nobody's letting it happen. It's also because I think a big portion of it also is because the cost of all that stuff has gone up so much that the only people that can afford it are people that are chasing nostalgia stuff.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
You gotta have a career job to go to enough concerts because it's $300 a ticket.
Yeah.
You know, and it ends up being crazy, and it prices people out of going to see bands that they want to see.
Mhm.
So there's no reason to put those bands on a bill. They're like, oh, we can put a current band on the bill and charge $25 a ticket, or we can put Scorpions on the bill and some old person's going to pay $300 to come see them.
Yeah.
And then we can put a bunch of bands underneath them that people will pay $25 to sit in the nosebleeds, or, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of that.
something
I
like that.
I pay however much I need to see Kiss anytime they play Jersey, PA, or New York. So
Right. My
kinda
guitar player is
guilty of that,
dude. My guitar player is the same way. I think Kiss is an institution now. I think that's a
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
different, dude. It's just they're different. That's my favorite band of all time. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. Like diehard Kiss fan. So
Now, speaking of like evolving, changing culture, that kind of stuff, Andy, you recorded your first record. Did you do any of the recording of this newer record? And now, you know, you're down in Virginia Beach. So how did that work? Because nowadays we're able to embrace this new technology, and like, you know, with $200 you can get a DAW and a interface and just play some guitar parts, or
right.
sing a few vocal harmonies or melodies or whatever it is, and just throw it off to the guys in Jersey. Did that happen at all with this new record?
Yeah, so it was actually an interesting process. So with the first record, my buddy Pat, and like he's a friend of the band. His name is Pat. Barraway Studios. He has like a home studio in Old Bridge. So we did a lot. We tracked this new record at his studio. But Billy and Chris, I think you even came down once or twice. We did pre-pro. Like Billy has like his I can't record for shit. Like I guess that maybe just to clarify, like I don't know anything about the recording like process. I just like to write a lot of shit. Like I don't know any of that stuff. But Billy has he actually just came down. We just did we're doing a vocal cover. We're doing something for that band Transit. So we just we're covering that band Transit. But
Nice.
but yeah, so like he came down, and then we did pre-pro, and then we went through those tracks and, you know, what we liked and didn't like. And then we eventually went to Pat, and he pretty much just, I guess it was over a course of like a week or two. I had to come up to Jersey, I think twice, and it's like a 7-hour drive. So, you know, it is what it is. But we did over like 2 weeks or so and recorded and tracked everything at his place. And then it went to, his name is Jeff McKinnon, and he mixed and mastered our record. So yeah, it was a lot of driving. Like I guess for me and for Billy and I, because I'm
Right.
I'm like a good 400 miles ish away. Like I live
Right.
you know, it's it's pretty far, I guess, you know, from Jersey, but a lot, you know, it's good that we can, you know, like he can come and, you know, just, you know, well, he has like an interface where we'll just sit and we'll just pre-pro. And I went up to Jersey a few times, and we'll just pre-pro there and just take things that we like and don't like and just, you know, have fun with it. Writing is like what I don't know how to record. I have no patience for I hate being in the studio actually. Like being in the studio and being like harassed. Like, you know, you need to do this again, need to do this again, and do this again. I want to put my head through a fucking wall.
Andy doesn't like being told that
I'm with you.
He's got to do something more than twice. Once it gets past the second take, he starts steaming from his ears.
Yeah, no, I have zero patience for it. I love writing the material and all right, let's conceptualize this shit, put all the parts together, transitions, so on and so forth. But when it actually comes to tracking it, and then it's you just keep fucking up the same part over and over, you just I'm done. You know, just want to give up and just sit in the corner, you know, but that's just me. But, you know, but Chris, he nails it, you know. Chris, everyone else, they get it. They have a lot more patience, but I'm nah, I hate everything. So
Andy, it's not just you.
Yeah.
It's him too.
It's not just you, man. I can't stand record. I hate the whole process. I hate everything about it. It's like a necessary evil to be able to see the completion of a song that I wrote, and then also to get on stage somewhere and do it. But other than that, I'm like, oh, I hate this part.
I
See,
know
I'm the
like,
opposite, where I love it. Like, I love being in the studio because I feel like some of the most important parts of writing a record are done in the studio. Like, you change so many stuff, so many parts up because you'll hear it. Like, a lot of times I'll be doing vocals and I'll be singing a line or whatever, the way we wrote it going in. And then we'll notice, you know, maybe that guitar part is what needs to change. You know, maybe we don't need to change this up. Maybe let's go in and change this here. And then we'll do some things like that. I feel like that happened a couple times on this record.
oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so like my favorite part about actually being in the studio isn't so much for recording, but it's just, you know, like the producing aspect of it and really just analyzing the music itself and kind of picking everything apart and figuring out what works. And that's why I feel like the single Hope Like Hell came out so well. And like, we're super proud of it because that was such a collaborative effort on everybody's part. I'd say probably more than any other song on the whole EP. Like, it was just so much of everybody's kind of influences grabbing and picking in here and there. And it was just, that was really enjoyable for me. So
How much of the parts of that song were conceptualized beforehand and how much happened in the studio? Because there's a lot of different things going on in that song, which is really cool. Like, you'll hear like counter guitar parts that are like interplaying with each other, and parts that come in like mid song and then carry throughout the like melody lines and things like that. Was all that from the beginning, like as a band, you kind of figured that out, or was some of that like in the studio, like, oh, I got a thing, you know, and then figured it out?
There was like a loose structure be like put together a long time ago. Like, just, you know, there was like the beginning and like just some parts here and there that were, you know, were kind of like, ooh, that could be cool. And then once like everyone kind of collaborated, especially like what Chris said, like in the studio, that's, you know, that part is great, you know, like, because we really got to see like the song come to life. And, you know, things like on the fly just kind of, you know, we're like, ooh, that's a really cool melody, or like, let's do this. And a lot of those like really defined, like refined parts really came about in the studio. But there was like a loose structure beforehand, just, you know, just like, here's an idea. And then just kind of in the studio, just like after pre-proing a bit, like in the studio, we just kind of like went wild with it. And we're like, you know, let's just try this. We, as a band, I think we really love to experiment and just try shit, you know. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know. But I think we all agree that it's worth to give it a shot and see what happens.
yeah,
For sure.
and I think a strong point of everybody too is that we can all improvise our own instruments pretty well. So when we're working on mixing up these different parts and working, oh, what can fit here? Like, maybe we do something else here. In the studio on the fly, Billy will just, you know, pull out a crazy guitar part that we're like, okay, yeah, that works. Or, you know, we came up with some great lyrics on the fly because we didn't like the old ones. And then I'm just in the booth vocal, you know, just singing random stuff that we're just going to throw at the wall, see if it sticks. And some, like our favorite parts on the song came from stuff like that. So
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's
especially
such a
during
big part of who we
part.
are.
That
Yeah.
during that clean part, a lot of Chris's vocals were just like we were like, I was like hearing him like put it together. I was like, holy shit, like this is so good. Like, and he was just so like, just, you know, so fluid, just kind of, he was just doing his thing, and it felt very natural, very organic. So it was really dope.
That's awesome.
Really dope to hear that.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned that you have 3 guitar players. How does that work? Because, like, you know, I mean, I got to tell you, I've had 1 guitar player bands, and 1 guitar player is too much. So how do you guys like get everybody on the same page? I mean, obviously, at some points you got to be playing the same thing, but like, what happens? When you guys 3 guitar players get into a room besides loud? What else happens?
So we use like different, like, I guess the alternative like tunings. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of the band American Football. Like, so they have like a lot of those weird like open tunings, and so like, I don't know, I can't really play in like standard, like, you know, like with chords. Like, I could play in those weird open tunings with like a bunch of different capos and shit, like, you know, on this fret, this fret, and this fret. So like, I'll play like those, like, it has like a shimmery kind of sound to it, and then Billy and our other guitar player, Julie, are like way better guitar players than me. So they like really could like hold the song down, and I just like fill in certain parts here and there. But yeah, that's like kind of the dynamic we have. But it's a lot of just messing with tones and with, volumes
So
and
you basically
everything.
filling things out.
You have two guitar players that are pretty
Exactly.
much handling probably like the rhythm and then the
Yeah.
melody of the song, and then your color.
Yeah, like I'm like, because I sing, for certain parts, and
Right.
I'll try to focus on my vocals rather than those, guitar parts.
Right.
And playing guitar just for a little like more texture, more of a like that, like kind of has like a shimmery kind of like pretty sound. So you fuse that with like the heavier guitar tones, and it kind of has like a
Mhm.
interesting kind of tone. So that's where I come in live setting. So
That's awesome.
But yeah,
That's
they
really cool.
definitely handle a lot of the bulk of it, because they're like super super talented, like they're tight guitar players. And, so it's really works out. We kind of almost need three, especially there's like lead on record where like we can kind of like, ooh, you could play this and I'll play this, and kind of split it amongst us three easier. If that makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. That's like
makes total sense.
It's a really cool concept. That's like you guys are doing what you do in the studio, like layering guitars.
Yeah.
But you're able to do it live.
Yeah.
As opposed to
Yeah. Well, yeah. Think
missing-
about anytime I've been in the studio recording guitar parts, it's like you record your guitar part and then you record what's going to go over the top of that. And then, we need some kind of high droning thing over the top of that. Oh, now we need something with an effect over that. So you're able to just
But
kind of
then-
like do
but
that in a
then
live setting as well.
Then you guys listen
Yeah.
back to the track, go to rehearsal, and go, okay, what's expendable
Right.
here?
What can we get rid of?
What can we get rid of in a live setting where it won't sound awful or missing pieces? And that's really cool. I really love that.
Yeah, we
That's what's
know
so great
like
about our guys. Like Andy, Billy, and Julia, our three guitar players, are all super tight and like always on. So like, if you're gonna do the three guitar player thing, everybody's got to be tight. If one person's off, it's just gonna sound like a cluttered, jumbled mess. The first time I saw a pop punk band with three guitars was the Wonder Years at Warped Tour. I couldn't tell you the year, but they run three guitar players when they play live show. And I was like, that's sick. Like, I love how this sounds. And I was like, how can they do this? Like, every time I listen to them on record, like, you can tell, like, they do a lot of harmonizing leads and things like that. And that was something I always loved about them. So now the fact that we're kind of able to do that same thing and really, like, and have a really full sounding live show, I think is just something that's really stands us apart.
Yeah, that's awesome.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
All right, Jim Z, you think grilling season is over?
Almost, right?
No. Grilling season is never over because of a new sponsor of ours.
Ooh, what is it?
GrillYourAssOff.com.
I love the name already.
Yeah. It's a veteran-owned company that sells spices, barbecue sauces, cool swag, even cookbooks.
Oh, you know what? You sent me a link to that. I checked it out. That was awesome. They had some cool recipes right on their site. That was pretty awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's for free. But now that they're a sponsor, they've decided that if you use the promo code BACON, you get 10% off your order.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm ready. I'm definitely ordering some spices. They had a couple that looked really killer.
Yeah, and it's really, there's so many different selections that there's really a spice for everybody. The guys that are like heat heads, and even the people that just want something subtle, delicious, sweet, whatever it is, they've got something for everybody.
Awesome. Did we order any? Did we have any coming?
We've got some coming.
Nice.
And we're going to do some tasting episodes over on the Patreon.
Awesome. So
with
stick
a little
around.
bit of grill your ass off stuff.
Stick around, everyone, because once we get those in, we're going to taste them, we're going to go through them, and then we're going to let you know what we think and maybe give you some choices that we would kind of go for.
So once again, head over to grillyourassoff.com, use that promo code BACON, and get 10% off.
Sweet.
Hi, my name is Patty Negri. I am a psychic, medium, and good witch. And I am consuming Bacon is my podcast.
Yeah, and I do it every once in a while too. But like, you're not running tracks. Do you guys run tracks or
no? We don't.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to run tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
I do because I don't want more people in my band. I like to keep it pretty simple. But no, I mean that's pretty cool. And that definitely differentiates you guys from most bands because everybody's running tracks now.
Yeah.
And everybody has to run tracks for that full sound. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
I like when a band can do that.
Yeah, no, like there's like no egos. It's like who wants like we'll just like whoever's, you know, like you could play this, and you know, I'll play this, and we just, you know, just kind of go from there. Like no one's like, I want to play this lead in this song. Like we're not like that at all. Like everyone's like really like, yeah, dude, whatever's gonna work best for the dynamic, and you know, that's it. So
hey man, the song is the song is the master that we all serve.
Yeah.
So we're not our own
Exactly.
selves, you know.
Yeah, and we're all fortunate. Like we're all really cool about just, you know, whatever's going to work best, and I think that's why, you know, we have such a tight bond. You know, so it's really dope.
That's cool. It seems like you got like very different styles of playing too. I can speak from just a guitar and a vocal standpoint because I fake everything else except drums, which I just can't even understand. But there's different styles going on, which is cool too. So you guys interplay those styles pretty like very well. Like what kind of influences, you know, we know Chris is a Kiss Army, Kiss Army guy. Where's your influences coming from? And Chris, I'm sure you have more than Kiss.
Obviously.
Yeah. Where are we drawing influence from when we're listening to this? You mentioned the Wonder Years, which is a 3-guitar pop punk band, which is excellent. Where else are you kind of like drawing from?
For me, vocally, some of the pop punk bands I first started listening to were like Newfound Glory and things like that, but that's not really my kind of range.
That's a specific vocal. Yeah.
You know, so I think I took a lot of inspiration from Derek Sanders from Mayday Parade. When I was trying to find my voice with a lot of the higher stuff that he does, I noticed he would always do this kind of like raspy thing to kind of cover up the higher notes, maybe not coming out as powerful or clean. And I kind of really adopted that into my style of singing, as well as there's a band called Am the Avalanche. Their singer, Vinnie Caruana, you guys might know, obviously. I'm pretty sure they're from Long Island or Brooklyn or somewhere out there in New York. I'd say those are probably two of the bigger vocal influences from our genre that I've really took from to kind of find my voice there.
Nice. How about outside the genre? Like what made you like to start singing in the first place? What was it?
Well, I'm actually a big musical theater guy. So I started singing when I was 5, 6 years old. I couldn't tell you how old I was when I did my first show, but I grew up doing musicals and stuff like that my entire life. Like I was the lead in the musical my senior year of high school. Like that was my life up until, you know.
Nice. What was the show?
I was like 18. It was Godspell. I played Jesus.
Godspell. Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Good one.
Christ. Yeah.
Nice. Andy, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say for me, Coheed. I'm a big Coheed fan. I have a big giant Coheed tattoo on my arm, and I've seen them like 16 or 17 times.
Nice.
So I'm a big Coheed fan. I love like a lot of like old school Thrice and like Seosin, like that post-hardcore kind of stuff.
I love
Artist
Thrice.
of the Ambulance.
I love
is
yeah.
perfection.
Yeah.
No, it's some of my favorite shit. And I also like a lot of the old school Midwest emo stuff, like the Promise Ring and American Football, and then like, you know, like Minus the Bear and, you know, Mineral and all that shit. And then, but I guess, that's where I guess like it's, you know, Blink, you know, Newfound Glory, definitely like obviously like probably my biggest, you know, like huge influences. And then, you know, I like a lot of, you know, I guess I take inspiration from like old, like I guess like the hardcore kind of stuff, you know, like old 100th, you know, like I guess more the melodic hardcore, like Counterpart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, even like At the Gates kind of stuff like that, you know, old metalcore kind of 2010, 2011 kind of shit. Those riffs, you know, like those kind of like Kill Switch and whatnot, like those, you know, those, you know, those just those chuggy riffs. Like that, that's what, you know, but like fusing now with like pop punk, like it's like, I don't know, it's kind of cool, you know, some shit like that. So
that's you mentioned Mineral, and like I heard about Mineral from my old drummer, and they were like his favorite band for a good 6 months, and we were on tour, and it was like literally anytime he drove, it was just that record over and over and over again, which was awesome because I was like, all right, dude, I'm down, I'm in. I was like. Because when I was on, it was like I think it was the first Used record and Artist in the Ambulance. Yeah, was my two. And
that
like
first Used record is my number. It's in my top 3.
Chef's kiss.
Excellent, Excellent.
God,
Every song.
Yeah. Front to back. I can listen to that anytime it's on. I have to finish the record. Like I can't listen to just like 2 or 3 songs. Like I'll sit in my car and finish out the record if I have to. If I
I don't have any skips either. I don't have any skips on that record at all.
It's like that and Sticks and Stones for me. I can play the whole record.
Yeah. Fairly recently, I've seen them probably about 3 years ago, and then before that, like 4 or 5 years ago, they were doing anniversary shows for some of the records and stuff. And they put out a record. I forget what the name is. I'll find it out. But that was not very good. The newest one,
Heartwork
is good. Yeah, Heartwork is really good.
I like
the one
it a lot.
Before that
I think
was
it's great.
like.
There was
one good song.
They're one of those bands that's completely fearless to me. Like they're just like, hey, we're gonna write
we're gonna do what we want.
Yeah, we're gonna write a complete pop song right now.
And Bert's still
and
got
right
it.
afterwards, we're gonna write a complete hardcore song right afterwards. And they're gonna be back to back, and you're gonna listen to the record and you're gonna go, what the fuck just happened in my head just now?
Yeah, they're another one of those bands that I have to see live anytime they're in the area. Anytime they play Starland Ballroom, I think in the last 15 years, I have been at that show.
So nice. So it's a long running thing on this show is that I hate going to New York City for shows. I always go to Starland for
absolutely
shows.
hop over
like
100%.
That's where it's been the venue for me since I was a kid. Like it was that, or I'd go to shows in Croc Rock in Allentown. I don't know if you know that. I grew up like 30 minutes from there over the bridge in Jersey. So Croc Rock was always easy, and then Starland was kind of like an hour 20 away from me. But that's always where I saw all my big shows growing up. That's
nice.
That's like my second home. I have to play Starland at some point. Like that's one of the places I have to get to.
Me too. I live like in Jersey. My parents live like 8 minutes from Starland. Like I grew up like Old Bridge, so it's in Sayreville. So literally, every band. Any band I would go through, from Autumn. I remember seeing From Autumn to Ashes and like Funeral for a Friend and E-Town Concrete and Atreyu and like all those bands. Like when I was like 15, 16 years old, and I think the last show I was at was I know I saw Mayday play their Lesson Romantics that anniversary tour for that record, and then I think Armor for Sleep, and oh man, that's such a good venue.
I saw Armor for Sleep there.
Oh yeah,
Thursday used to play there on New Year's Eve all the time, and that was like I don't think my brother ever missed a New Year's Eve show at Starland Ballroom. Like that was just epic.
Yeah, my last show pre-pandemic, I went to go see Silverstein. Like
great band.
Just amazing. that week that they canceled the tour and everybody went home, and it was the start of the pandemic. So yeah, man, it was. It was awesome, and I'm upset I have not gone there. They were not my first show back. So you're pretty local, Chris. So if you get a chance, Toad's Place in Connecticut. I'm trying to think, New Haven. That's a pretty dope spot.
Toad's, like TOAD.
Yeah, Toad's Place. It's right on. It's right on Yale campus, and it's sweet area, really cool, like tons of restaurants and shit like that. But Toad's is awesome. It was like the first time I got to stand on sticky floor, like sticky show floor, and you're just like, oh, this is great. No, my wife and I went, and she decided to wear flats, and she's like, I can't walk fast because it keeps on. It holds my shoe down, and every time I lift my foot, I'm like, isn't it the best?
Yeah.
It's weird the things you miss, like when we all had to stay home and everything, the things you think of that you miss that you don't realize until you go back, when you step on a sticky floor and you're like, oh, I'm home.
Yeah.
You get in a van with like 4 other dudes to go do something, and you're like, it stinks in here.
You smell.
I'm home.
This is great.
I miss the smoking section of Starland. Like I don't smoke cigarettes, but I liked going out there and just taking a break. But I loved like the atmosphere. Like it was just like people just chilling. That's what I missed like a lot. Like just like being outside in the smoking section, like when it was like November, December, and it was freezing. Right. But just like the smell of it, I'm just like, you just feel like you're at a show. Like I don't know, there was just something like nostalgic, or there's something that like make that that is part of that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I've been going to Starland for I mean, it's got to be all of like 15 years now, and like two things. One, like two spots that are awesome. One is the pizza place up the block that never has the lights working.
Okay.
That place is great, but more recently we found the Brick House
In Asbury, right?
No, it's like I don't even know what town it's in, but
Brick House.
it's like maybe 10, 15 minutes away from Starland. It's after you get off the this is Jersey Turnpike. So it's right after you get off the Sayreville exit, and it's on the way to Starland. And my wife and I started going there. If you ever get a chance, pretty sweet place.
Okay, my go-to stop every Starland show. My brother and I always just have to go to Wawa up the street. There's a Wawa literally right up the street from Starland. Every show we stop at Wawa.
Wawa is the best.
Hoagie, and we get Wawa iced tea, and we go home. That's the move every time.
All right, being a band, being a touring band, being in multiple places. Are you guys Wawa guys or are you Sheet guys?
Sheets all day.
And Chris is gone. Andy, you?
I'm gonna say I really like Wawa. Like, don't get me wrong. I have. There's a lot by me. There's also Royal Farms. Royal Farms is pretty good. But
yeah, they have some pretty sweet iced teas and stuff.
They do. They definitely do. But if I had to honestly pick between, like, if it was like, all right, you're gonna pick one, it's gonna be Sheets. Sheets rock.
Sheets, dude. Sheets mozzarella sticks are god tier. Sheets mozzarella sticks are the best, and that's the only reason why I pick Sheets. Because I love Wawa's hoagies. Like, I absolutely love everything about Wawa. But Sheets mozzarella sticks, dude, unbelievable.
No, it's great.
My buddy has a whole Instagram page dedicated to Sheets mozzarella sticks, but it's like he rates movies. So it's at Mozza Ratings. Do a little plug for my boy Andy. Nice. It's at Mozza Ratings on Instagram, and he rates movies out of 1 through 6 Sheets mozzarella sticks. And he's like become friends with the guys from Sheets. Like, they catered his wedding with Sheets mozzarella sticks last month.
That's
like it flourished into an incredible thing, and I absolutely love it. Yeah.
One of our friends used to play bass for you, has a Wawa tattoo.
He's got the bird on it.
He's got the bird on his arm, so he brought it in to show them, and he's got discounts at Wawa.
Yeah, he gets all sorts of discounts. Awesome. Now, my Wawa thing is breakfast, so I'll get eggs, steak, their Southwest Chipotle sauce, and sautéed onions.
Ooh,
and that is just an amazing breakfast. If I'm doing fast food breakfast, I'm such a slut for McDonald's breakfast. That's not fast food breakfast.
That's my go-to.
Slow your roll there.
Come on, man.
Get out of my house.
Come on.
I love McDonald's.
McGriddles are amazing. They're their
own thing. The big breakfast with hotcakes.
I haven't had the hotcakes. Actually, it was funny. So where I work, my 9 to 5 or 7 to 5, whatever it is at the day, my coworkers, they all go to the coffee truck. You know, the Roach coach that comes around. That dude had McDonald's hotcakes, and he came rolling in with this tray of hotcakes, and I was like, man, I haven't had that in a long time, but it's not in styrofoam anymore. It can't taste the same.
Yeah, they're in like plastic. They give you like a plastic little thing. Yeah,
but there was something different about McDonald's hotcakes, that it wasn't pancakes. It's like something.
Yeah,
it's the MSG they're sprinkling in,
maybe,
which is delicious.
Yeah. Right.
Right. I like Burger King. Everyone shits on me in the band for liking Burger, but I think Burger King's S tier. Like, I think
Burger King's breakfast used to be the shit back in the day with the French toast sticks from Burger King.
Their hash browns.
Yeah, but have you got
the smaller ones, and they're like, that's way better than one like hockey puck McDonald's where you get the tiny little ones, and now that's just far better.
I feel like anything you get from Burger King now was stale first, and then they cooked it, and now it's just hot and stale.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love it.
Hot and stale. We all try telling Andy that Burger King is shit because we're a Wendy's band.
Oh yeah.
Well, everybody's a Wendy's band.
Wendy's is our go-to.
Yeah. Number 6.
Anytime Billy and I've done anything band related, it's usually like, oh, you want to stop at Wendy's on the way home? So
right.
That's our go-to.
Andy, I will say, my wife Jen, she is with you. So every once in a while, she's like, I really want Burger King breakfast, and I'll go, Okay.
No, the original chicken sandwich from Burger King is the best. I will argue that is the best fast food sandwich in all of fast food across America, whatever. That is a perfect fucking sandwich. I don't give a shit what anyone says. It's like with the Italian breadcrumbs and like the mayonnaise. No, that shit is
Now, Jen,
on the hoagie roll.
Hey,
Again,
man,
shout
everybody,
out.
anybody can be wrong at any time, and that's
Now-
totally cool.
Again, shout out to my wife. She thinks the same thing, and she puts sweet and sour sauce on it.
Oh, it's great. Like no matter what you do, that is, and they have. I think they just
Your
came
wife
out
might
with
need
the-
to go to jail for that.
It's
What
so
I am
good.
saying though is
So good.
Burger King is swill, and so yeah. Sorry,
I think it's
Wendy's all
top
day.
tier. No,
Wendy's
I think it's
all
better
day.
than Wendy's.
Billy's gonna
No.
be thrilled to see that everybody else just agreed with us.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
See?
No.
spicy chicken sandwich is my jam. Like, I'll go to Wendy's and I'll always have another order. Like, they always have these crazy burgers with onion straws and jalapenos and cheese
Yeah.
sauce and
Pretzel
this
bun.
on a
The
pretzel,
pretzel
bun.
bun,
and,
yes.
Oh,
and I'll go, that looks awesome. I think I'm going to get that. And I go up there and they're like, what do you have? Number 6. Every time I buckle under the pressure, spicy chicken sandwich. Every time.
I usually just go with the biggie bag, get a little like whatever it's like a junior bacon cheeseburger or Dave's
Yeah.
double or whatever with
Yeah.
some chicken nuggets, some fries, and a Frosty on the side, dude. Like you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, it's a little
That's
bit
true.
of everything.
that's true.
nice.
It's a good
It's nice.
sampler platter.
Okay. Well, sorry we shit all over your favorite fast food thing, Andy.
You know what?
It's just
He's used to it.
sometimes when you're wrong, you're wrong.
No, I mean, look, it's definitely my favorite, but I think like I guess my regional favorite like is Cookout. I don't know if you guys have ever had Cookout before.
Oh no.
I have not had it. I've heard of it. My parents live down in South Carolina, so
Mhm.
and I've been down that way and I've seen it before. I've never had it.
That is, I would say that's the best in terms of like just like Burger King's all over the place, but like in this area, like in the South, that is like they're open to like I think like 2 or 3 in the morning, and you're just it's a great like hangover food. Like it's just it's just great. It's great and it's
Yeah.
cheap.
2
And
or
you
3
can-
in the
you can get
morning. That's important.
Yeah.
and you can get a quesadilla as a side or as a main thing. You get like corn dogs and you have cheesecake like shakes. I think they put a full piece of cheesecake in the shake.
Good
Like they
Lord.
do some wild shit, and it's
I'm in.
definitely no. You should definitely. It's life
Yeah, I'm
changing. Everyone that comes down here is like that's where we're going because it's.
Andy said that we're gonna get Cookout twice, and I've been down to Virginia twice since he's moved there, and I haven't had Cookout in 0.
Well, next time, believe me, it's on me. Next time, I will get you whatever you can get a quesadilla as a fucking like. As a
It's
side.
documented.
it's documented now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Next time,
No,
you have to buy
that's fine.
Cookout.
I will. It's
There's
so
a
cheap.
source to cite.
Andy, if you want, we can edit this out too. Don't worry.
Right?
This is
No,
pre-recorded.
No, I will do it. I will.
I'm poor,
absolutely
dude. I
buy
need
it.
the free meal.
I will get
I'm a
it.
struggling
Absolutely.
musician.
We can
I will
also
definitely
just
get
cut
it.
this out and send this little piece to you. See?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Speaking of being poor, struggling musicians,
Yeah.
we got to pay some bills
Yes.
real quick.
And you're gonna help us.
And you're going to help us.
That's the best part.
So we've got a sponsor called Poddex. They're awesome. They're an awesome company. What they do is they create decks. They're 50 cards in a deck, and they have different podcast episode ideas and different questions you can ask guests. If you don't have verbal diarrhea like we do,
Right.
if you have a hard time breaking the ice, Poddex is your answer.
Yeah. So
And
you guys are gonna pick one of the decks. So run them through the decks.
okay, so there's a number of decks. There's the episode deck. Don't pick that one. There's the episode the interview deck 2. There is what the heck deck. There's would you rather, and then they have 2 new ones that we got. One is the how dare you,
Must
which you
be
gotta
said like that.
say it like that.
Must be said like that.
And the other one is the what the fuck deck.
It also needs to be said like that.
Yeah. So guys, if you want to pick a deck, go ahead and pick
You
one.
can pick different decks, whatever works.
Do we have to?
Did you say one was called What the Deck, or was it What the Heck Deck?
No,
We
what
have
the fuck
heck and
and what the
fuck.
heck.
Oh, okay. I'll go with What the Heck.
What the heck?
Okay. Thanks. It's on the bottom.
And do I pick one also, or do I?
Yep.
Or just
Whatever you want to
Yeah,
do.
go for it.
You can pick the same one, or you can pick a different one.
Can I do the I guess the Would You Rather deck?
Would you rather?
Would you
All
rather?
right.
Both are quite popular.
Yes.
On the show. So while I prepare those, Jim's going to run down how you can help the show.
Exactly. If you're a listener and you want to help out the show and you also want some cool pod decks, you can go to poddecks.com and check through all their stuff. They have all kinds of swag. They have the decks. They have orders where you can get like a selection of 3 decks, or you can buy them just one by one.
Yep.
They're a cool company. They're a smaller company, and the dude will email you to say thank you for purchasing
Travis
from them.
is the man.
Yeah. So if you go there, grab some stuff, put it in your cart, and at checkout, in the promo code area, you can put the word bacon.
Because bacon makes everything better.
Yep. You'll get 10% off your entire order. So, head over to poddecks.com. Not now, but like after the show. And you can check that out. And if you can't remember afterwards and you're like, what was that pod thing that they were talking about? Just go to baconismypodcast.com, and on our sponsor page, it is on there, and you can hit the link and go right there.
And the reminder's right down at the bottom of this description.
Yes, all links.
So with that said, Chris, here's the what the heck deck. He's going to scroll his finger. You tell him when to stop.
I am going from my left to my right, your right to your left.
Stop.
Stopping right now in the middle somewhere. The question is, what is your favorite microwavable food?
Ooh.
Favorite microwavable food? It has to be the State Fair corn dogs that I get at ShopRite.
State Fair corn. All right.
They're
all right.
fire, dude. I'm telling you.
Corn dog man. All
They
right.
cook in like 30 seconds, and they're insane.
Do they cook all the way in 30 seconds? How small
Yeah,
are
dude,
these?
they're good. They're really good.
Are they small or are they
you
like
wrap them in a paper towel and you
Uh-huh.
pop them in the microwave for like 30 seconds. Amazing. Or the banquet chicken pot pies. My old roommate.
Oh
and I-
yeah.
Oh,
his
now we're throwing in
mom
a
used-
whole different cuisine.
Yeah, so my old roommate, when I first moved out of the house, I was in college. I moved into my buddy's mom's basement, but she would always go to the store and buy these freaking chicken pot pies. Nobody in the house would eat them, so my buddy and I would, we'd smoke or whatever, and then the next morning there's maybe 3 or 4 pot pies left in the freezer. So that's probably what I would go with. I changed my answer officially to those.
Change the
pot
answer
pies.
officially.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. The only thing I do remember about microwave chicken pot pies is the center is gonna burn your fucking face off.
Every time, yes. You have to.
It's a lot like a hot
hole.
pocket.
Yes.
See, I feel like Hot Pockets are like the outer rim will burn your face off as you break your teeth on the ice puck in the center.
No,
Maybe
you're
I
not
have them
cooking it enough.
Maybe I have
Yeah,
maybe I have a different microwave.
Many a hot pockets explode and just destroy my tongue and my taste buds for days.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, what about the cheese that hits your
It
lip?
burns your lips. Yeah, that's
Oh,
a blister. You get a blister on your lip from the friggin' cheese that hangs down. Yeah,
The struggle is real.
The struggle is real.
All right, Andy.
All right, Andy.
We're gonna do the same thing for you here with the Would You Rather deck.
I am scrolling now.
Stop.
Stopping right now. All right. Andy, would you rather work with dead people in a mortuary or work the biggest ER trauma unit in the world?
The busiest.
Busiest, sorry.
Oh man. I guess. What was it? The mortuary.
Mortuary, you'd be working
With dead people.
with the bodies,
Okay.
or in the busiest
I-
trauma ER in the world.
I would do the mortuary. I would definitely
Yeah.
do the mortuary. I don't think that stress of the would be too much for me. It would be too
yeah,
much.
for sure.
Well,
For
it's stress.
for me too. Yeah, I don't think I could.
It's stress, and it's like active flesh punctures, and
right.
And, like, people are alive still and have hope at least when they come in.
Yeah.
In the mortuary, you know what you're getting. It's like you don't got to deal with the disappointment of like losing someone.
Right.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
a pretty easy one. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I agree.
Yeah, I think that's a gimme. I think that was a.
That was probably a gimme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
All right, well, thank you for being
Pod
part
Deck.
of our
Give us the hard
Pod
one.
Decks question of the week.
Yeah. So Chris, you got to, for those who are watching, Chris has a CM Punk shirt. It's an old school CM Punk shirt.
Yes.
It is
This
a
old-
WWE official
It's a classic.
CM Punk shirt. How are you liking the Phil Brooks return tour? Are you still watching it all? Or
Love it. Oh yeah, dude. I watch every Wednesday and Friday night. I'm watching Dynamite and Rampage.
You know what that means.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, you know what that means.
Exactly. I liked it. I caught that in the intro when you said that it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. I caught that. I love it, dude. I'm happy he's back. I was actually at All In because
nice.
we all thought he was gonna come back at All In Chicago. He didn't, but we went to the Pro Wrestling Tees meet and greet. I didn't get to meet Punk because it was like just a lot of money and I didn't pay for it. But I think it's great. I thought the Eddie Kingston match was awesome. You know, at Full Gear, I thought that was great. If he's going into this thing with MJF now, I'm all about that even more.
100%.
So I love it, dude. I'm just so happy he's back. My wife was just watching me and during his return, you know, when it was all hyped up, you know, when he first came back, and I was like a man child in my room, like going crazy. So I'm all about it, dude. He's in my top three of all time is Shawn Michaels, Eddie Guerrero, and CM Punk. So
it's a good top three.
That's an excellent top three. It was funny, like the night he did come back, and there was the rumors. It was like the obvious rumor. We actually had
it was the worst kept secret in pro wrestling.
Yeah,
we had an interview to do, and we had the interview on the one computer screen, and then it's streaming on the other computer screen.
Yeah.
And as soon as like the graphic came up, I went
right
because it wasn't video. And then I like very quickly I'm like, tell me he's coming out to Cult of Personality. So I took the volume and I just went like really quick as he was walking out, and I was like,
yeah.
And oh man, nerding out, totally nerding out.
I was actually there at his UFC debut in Cleveland.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we drove out for that. I'm a big UFC fan too. Like I love MMA. Stipe Miocic is also one of my favorite fighters who was fighting on that card.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And he's
hometown.
Like just a super cool dude. Like he's definitely chill. He's a firefighter and
exactly, dude. He's the man's man. So I love Stipe. So we went out to the fight for that. He knocked out Overeem, you know, kept his title, whatever. It was awesome. But when he came out to Cult of Personality in the UFC, it was loud in there. Like it didn't seem that loud. Like when I watched it back on the internet, like it was pretty damn loud for being in Cleveland. Like not even in Chicago. Just because Colt's Personality is what he was coming out to. Everybody there that was, you know, that new Punk was stoked. So that's my guy.
Fun fact, for my wedding, I got married the summer of Punk. Yeah. So I came out to This Fire Burns.
Nice.
Because it was pre-Cult of Personality.
Yeah.
So now all of my friends, like my wife is a big Killswitch fan too. But but everybody's like, hey, so, and they'll ask in front of her too, and they're like, hey, so if Punk switched up to Cult of Personality, would you have come out to it? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And Jen's like, no, we wouldn't. I was like, no,
This Fire Burns is an elite.
It is, yeah. That was a sick intro song.
I did it. It's clobbering time and everything.
Right, he did.
Nice.
He did.
I love that.
He was there.
I wanted to do like a DX or an NWO entrance with my groomsmen at mine. I just got married 2 months ago in September.
Oh, cool.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to do something wrestling related so bad, but the furthest we got was on our entrance. My wife and I, we just did like the Ric Flair strut walking in.
Nice.
So that was that. And then a week later, Ric Flair gets canceled. He gets canceled for the Dark Side of the Ring stuff, and I was like, okay, maybe not the most appropriate time, but it's okay.
You don't have to like what Ric Flair did to know how to style and profile.
Exactly. Yeah.
Andy, what about you, man?
What do you
get into like wrestling, or you got other like things to get you out of? Because when you're doing music and you're a teacher as well, like,
what's your release?
What else do you do to release?
So I mean, for wrestling, I mean, I was into it when I was a kid. I liked Gold Dust. I thought he was pretty cool.
I love that.
Chris knows I like Rikishi. Like the ass, was it stink ass?
Stink
ass is a much better name for it, though.
Dude, I was a kid. I was so about that. Like, that is the funniest move like ever. That was such a.
It sounds way threatening if you're like, I'm going to give you a stink ass.
Stink ass. I was like Triple H and all that. Like I was like, you know, I was into all that. Kane and Kane used to scare me as a kid. Yeah, and the Undertaker and all that. That I only knew like the classic like late 90s, like 2000s
Attitude era,
stuff.
dude.
Right,
You
yeah.
watched it during the best era of wrestling. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good, bro. Anything
100%.
after that till like 2018 maybe, when New Japan and the Indies really started heating up, you don't need to watch any of that.
Right.
Yeah,
Except maybe
see-
Summer of Punk and the Money in the Bank with John Cena and all that. But other than that,
Yeah. The rest of
You're
us
good.
that stuck with it that whole time, like there's dark periods.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I actually
Oh,
earlier this year, I actually stopped watching WWE altogether. Just
Yeah.
not watching it.
I
That's
haven't
all right.
watched.
I do.
There's a reason
maybe
for that.
watch pay-per-views.
I don't even do that. Like I stuck with Peacock until August because it was so cheap,
Right.
and then August I was like done. So yeah, I do New Japan, I do ROH, I do AEW. I get.
Do you keep up on Impact at all? Are you an Impact guy?
Impact's got a stigma, and I'm trying to like. I listen to the Jeff Jarrett podcast, and I'm kind of like trying to shake that stank off, and I do want to go back to it. Yeah.
The Jonah debut was
Jonah
pretty sick.
debuted last
That
the other
dude,
night.
that dude has been treated like gold. He's got 2 debuts under his belt,
Yeah.
and dude's been treated like gold. He's like a big deal,
I love him.
and he was
He's
treated like
great
shit.
though. He's really
I
good.
mean, in
great.
NXT.
I want to see him and Keith Lee in a program so
Oh,
bad.
yes.
2 massive dudes. If Keith
Hoss
Lee were to go to Impact,
fight.
Big meaty men
All
slapping
fair.
meat.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, Hoss fight to the max.
Exactly.
Commercial break.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And before we get into this week, if one episode just isn't enough for you and you need a little bit more Bacon is My Podcast, head on over to patreon.com/Bacon is My Podcast. Over there, you will get access to monthly live streams, discounts on merch, early and commercial-free access to Bacon is My Podcast episodes. Some of them are even extended surprise giveaways, additional shows, including Tasting is My Passion, and, of course, Cooking with Bacon is My Passion. And oh yeah, you get a crap ton of music. That's right, all of Jimmy and Mike's bands, previous, current, whatever it is, you'll get access to that music, demos, and much, much more. Just head on over to patreon.com/Bacon is My Podcast and learn what the hoopla is all about.
Hi, everybody. I am Eric Bischoff, and you're listening to Bacon is My Podcast.
All right, so Andy, so you're a lapsed fan from the Attitude Era days.
Mhm.
What does it for you now? What is, I see, like are you an anime guy? Are you a video game guy? Are you what do you got?
I'm a big movie person. I'm a huge
Nice.
I definitely have I have a freakish ability for you could see a person in a movie and then you could tell what other movies they've been in. I could do that super super well.
Nice.
I love that shit. But I guess my favorite, my top movies would be Goodfellas, Shawshank Redemption, Pulp Fiction, those kinds of movies, big Quentin Tarantino. My dad's really into all the gangster movies. So
Inglourious Bastards, bro.
Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious
That's
Bastards.
my
great
top
movie.
3 movies ever.
Yeah, that's pretty excellent.
A lot of that, old M. Sandler movies and, shit like that. But right now, my wife and she's getting me into the Vampire Diaries. So I'm I love all those, that teen kind of, the teen drama stuff. But, I guess that, the American Pie kind of era stuff. All, Van Wilder and all that shit. So
Yeah.
that stuff was always cool. But I nerd out on movies, you can give me a movie what year did that come out? I'll be able to. Most of the time, I'll be able to get it right. If it's 80s, 90s kind of era, that kind of stuff. So I'm into a lot of that, those niche kind of those kind
So
of
what
movies
we
too.
should do,
Yeah,
we should get.
if you're into podcasts, also our buddy Steve Mazon, who we just did an episode with, he's a stand-up comic.
My
He has a
wife bringing me
podcast.
beers. What a great
Oh,
lady.
nice!
That's
Look at that.
awesome.
Bravo to you, special guest star. But he has what is it called? It's the
Maison Movie Club.
Yeah, the Maison Movie Club. And so he does a podcast where they pick a movie and they watch it, and then he has like comments and everything from that he takes from
The
Twitter,
listeners,
and then the listeners all talk about it, and then he has a conversation with it about it with somebody for the whole episode. It's pretty cool.
It's like a book club almost.
Yeah,
but with movies.
Right. I like that.
And he tries to keep it on Netflix. So when Netflix is kind of coming up on that seasonal lapse,
right,
where you're like, all right, I got to dig deep. So you can always watch it, and then as soon as they refresh the selections, then it brings the bigger movies.
What's the most recent movie? So have you gone back and seen a movie in a theater?
No, I have HBO Max, so that's been really sick. Like, not having, I
great.
just saw that. And I do have the Paramount Plus. I love fucking Bar Rescue. I nerd out hardcore on Bar Rescue.
Nice.
Like,
yes.
I need to cut you off. I
Yeah.
need to cut you off for a second. So a week ago, I asked in our band group chat if anyone had Paramount Plus that I could borrow because I needed it, and now I know that you have Paramount Plus, so I'm gonna need your password.
Billy mooches off my shit too, just for fucking Bar Rescue because they have like everything, and I nerd out on that because if we go on tour, like if wherever I think it's in like North Dakota or something, there's the O-Face bar, and it's like the worst, most shitty, awful bar ever. But I need to go because the episode is so ridiculous.
You think we're ever gonna play in North Dakota?
Wait, was that the one that was like on the first floor of a 2-story building, but it was like set back?
I don't know I don't know off the top of my head. I know like it had like the lips as like the like symbol for the bar or whatever. But I need like I'm just remembering like those episodes that are just ridiculous. But like I need to go, like, but I nerd out hard on Bar Rescue. But the last movie I just watched was that new Paranormal Activity movie. I love all those like Paranormal Activity movies, like all those kinds of things, like the religious horror ones. That shit freaks me the hell out. Like I have to watch with like the lights on. Like I legitimately am uncomfortable. Like it's I find it's so scary to me. Like, but yeah. So I definitely watched all those movies. But yeah. So you can mooch off my Paramount Plus if you want. I guess now I'm
a new
locked
Halo
into
show's coming out. I need it.
Yeah. I'm locked into getting you Cookout and mooching off my Paramount Plus. Might as well just take my HBO Max too.
I told you I would trade my Hulu or Netflix or whatever or Peacock. Like I'll trade whatever, man. I'm not trying to mooch here.
No. Take it. It's fine. It's fine. No, like it's like totally okay. Like legitimately. So, but
we did that a while ago when I had New Japan World.
Yeah, you had New Japan and
he had it was WWE Network. And then nobody wants Peacock anymore.
Right.
I watch The Office whenever, so I love my Peacock and The Office. That's great.
It's
a great BS fold in the laundry show to just put on in the background.
Did a good documentary on Ted Bundy.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that.
I watched that too.
Cool. Yeah,
I wanted to watch that.
I get into those. Me and my girlfriend, like it's our nightly routine. It's like, oh, it's time to go to bed. Okay, let's put on some murder.
Yeah, Jen and I
They've got an underrated movie section too. It's not as good as like HBO Plus, like HBO Max.
That's what it is. HBO Max.
That's what I love, and like Disney Plus because I'm a big like Marvel movie guy. Like I just watched Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings.
Oh man, so good.
It just came out on Disney Plus, and
I have Batman and Spider-Man and Deadpool on my arm, and
there's Venom and Carnage in the corner. So
we had to make the hard choice to see either Venom, the new Venom movie, or Shang-Chi at the
that wasn't a hard choice.
Some gift cards. So, but we went Venom because that the wife likes Tom Hardy. So
dude, it's great.
We did that and great movie. Loved it. But Shang-Chi was so good. I want to go watch it again after this. I love that.
I just saw Ghostbusters Afterlife the other day, and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely,
it was good.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I heard a couple people say that they didn't like it, and they were like, "Oh, like the character development's not there." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! It's Ghostbusters."
What are you like?
Jen and I have talked about it recently too, and so
what was that?
The most recent movie I've seen was Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
That was a childhood favorite book of mine when I was little. I loved
it wasn't bad, but like we've been introducing the kids like
that looks awful.
It was okay.
Okay.
It was okay.
How old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
So my daughter's 5, my son is 8.
Okay.
Arthur was my favorite. Like at that time.
Oh yeah, okay.
Arthur.
Oh yeah.
All over HBO Max, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know actually. I know
He's gotta be.
I love like Hey Arnold and Doug and
Mhm.
Rocket Power, like those 90s. Like I watch those. I still watch those all the time. Like Doug was a great show.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah,
Doug's great.
Like so basically Jen and I, we've been trying to like acclimate them to some of the things we liked as kids. So like, Rugrats, they loved it.
Right.
But the movie wise, like we let them watch like Beethoven and just like movies that were
you gotta
just
show them Airbud.
Airbud. Yeah, it's like, you know what?
I'd make them watch Marley and Me just because I'm a mean person.
Yeah, you're awful.
Yeah, what are you? Sick?
He's a monster. He is a fucking monster.
I don't have
Airbud's
kids.
prancing just as much as the next guy, but come on.
I don't have
Airbud
kids.
sucked. Dude,
Airbud sucked. Yeah,
no,
100%.
it was awful.
It
Homeward
was awful.
Bound. Homeward Bound 2.
Oh yeah, they
Homeward
loved
Bound is
both
great.
of them.
Homeward
Yeah,
Bound's
both of them
another
loved
one,
that.
yeah.
But like,
Much
what
better.
happened to movies that didn't need this profound undertone of some sort of message, and it was just a fucking movie to just watch?
Right.
Yeah, like Joe Dirt.
Get your mind off. Joe Dirt. Dierte.
Joe Dierte.
Yeah,
Dierte.
that's
Fantastic.
Like Joe Dirt and like Biodome and
Right.
Dude,
things like that.
Biodome.
What happened
Pauly
to
Shore
movies
movies,
like that?
Those Pauly Shore comedies are undefeated.
Encino
Biodome,
Man.
Son-in-Law, Encino
Son-in-Law.
Man.
Yeah.
I have the Encino Man DVD on my mantle right now. Like just
Didn't he do
out
like
in my
a-
living room.
That's where it belongs.
He did an army one too, right? It was
In the Army Now.
In the army now. Yeah,
Yeah, with
Amazing
Tank
movie,
Girl.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Tank Girl was in it.
Tank Girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I love
yeah.
I love Biodome. Biodome is
Biodome's so good.
such a good movie. What's your name?
Encino Man's the best, dude.
Encino
We's in
Man's
the juice.
No, we's in the juice.
No more we's in the juice.
Fun fact: I sold Stephen Baldwin a bunch of CDs once because I worked at a record store in Manhattan, and Stephen Baldwin came in and came in, had a stack of CDs, and he was like, "Hey, do I get a discount?" And I was like, "Oh, excuse me." I don't know what about me makes you think that I'm a manager. Like I'm thinking about it. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you don't get a discount. And he goes, but I'm Stephen Baldwin. And I was like, yeah, so you have Biodome money.
Yeah, exactly. I would have been like, so that means you have more money than
Right,
me.
like,
So
why are you asking me for a
Sorry,
discount?
sorry. Just got
All good,
kicked
man.
out. I guess my internet.
yeah, it's like, dude. So yeah, that's even more of a reason not to give you a discount, my guy.
Exactly,
Like,
right?
come on.
So he was
You should be
kind of a
buying stuff
douche.
for everybody in here.
He was kind of a douche, but it doesn't make me love the movie any less.
Well, yeah. Or what I would have done is like, okay, well, fart on command, and I'll see what you had for lunch. If I guess it right, then you get a discount.
That scene always made me so
Exactly.
if there's one
Keep
thing I hate, it's
cruising.
when somebody farts in a confined space. And so that scene has always made me nauseous. Like,
What about the scene in Step Brothers with Seth Rogen?
Ketchup and onions.
oh, that one too. Yeah, that's another one. I'm just like, we were at a show last night. A couple of my bandmates and I went to see another local band, and I brought my wife with me, and we were standing there, and she kept looking at me like I was the one ripping it. But somebody was like just stinking up the place, and like
Oh man,
I almost wanted to leave. Like it was
That's not
so
right.
miserable.
That's
Farts
Dude,
are one
I
thing
don't
that
know why-
don't.
I don't know how people do that. Like, I don't know how people also go to shows without wearing deodorant. And like,
Yeah.
what the
Oh,
fuck?
that's
dude?
the
Like,
worst.
just wear deodorant. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit if you don't shower, but just for the love of God, just wear a little deodorant. Just a little bit, just like because the BO and like the fart smell, like, dude, I never fart. I fart all the time, but I never fart at like a show. Like, if I do, I will try to go somewhere else.
I'll
because
go,
I know it's torture.
outside.
elsewhere.
I'll go outside. I'll go
Yeah.
in the bathroom. I will remove myself from the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
I had a guy yell at me at a venue in New York. I think it might have been Terminal 5, but I'm not sure.
That place sucks. Go on.
Not
Or
surprising.
no, it wasn't. It was what was it? Not important. I'm gonna take forever thinking of it because I'm an idiot. But point is, I go to the bathroom and I'm peeing, and I fart in the bathroom, and this guy criticized me and yelled at me and called me disgusting for farting in the bathroom. If you can't fart in a bathroom, like where can you fart?
Yeah, where are you supposed to do it? What
Come on.
is nothing sacred?
Exactly. Like, come on, dude.
I think the worst place I was chastised at in the bathroom was at Charlotte Douglas Airport, and I went into a stall. I lifted the seat with my foot. I pissed, and then I took it down with my foot. And the guy who cleans the bathroom, who's always looking for a tip, was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what's wrong with me?" He's like, "Don't piss on the seat." I said, "I didn't. Did you watch what I just did?" "Oh, well, you put your foot on it. That's gross." What?
Like, dude, people put their butts on this thing. You know that?
Yeah,
right?
like what do you want? Oh, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, that's a strange judgment to make.
Bathroom attendants
exactly.
always make me uncomfortable. Can we just talk about how weird bathroom attendants are?
Yeah, we
You're-
can, because that's a
you're
messed
peddling-
up job. I
Yeah,
don't-
Guys got to sit in there smelling poop all night for like $18 in tips. Because let's be real, who's actually tipped a bathroom guy
Right,
before?
yeah.
Not me.
I have.
I might
I
take a
have.
free mint,
I
but
have.
like
I have, because
I-
when
I'm,
they're
like,
nice.
I'm like, your night's way worse than mine.
that's true. I'm just usually too broke to be like thinking about that. I'm like, oh, bro, I
I'm
gotta.
like, I don't want
I
your
gotta pay for my train
spritz of
ticket.
cologne. I'm good.
I hate when they crowd the. One thing I do hate though is how they crowd the paper towel dispenser, and it's like, I have to tip this guy, otherwise I'm an asshole.
Yeah. Or you just like real aggressively dry your hands on your pants and just eyeball them the whole time. Just be like,
You're doing
I
this
don't
on the way out.
need you. I don't need you.
See you later, bro. You got your spirit fingers going, and you're
Right,
like,
yeah.
all right, I gotta get out of here. Fucking A. So, guys, you've been here for a while, and it's been awesome. But I guess we do have to bring this to an end at some point.
We do. So what we should do is we should definitely have you guys once again tell everybody where they can hear your music, where they can find you online, where they can keep in contact with you, and what you got coming up in the next weeks, months, whatever you got coming.
Yeah,
So
man.
let it fly.
Yeah, so we're on Instagram at sucker_punch NJ without any of the vowels in there, so you can figure that out. Sucker Punch on Spotify, Apple Music, Facebook, anywhere music is played, you can find us at Sucker Punch. So we got a couple singles dropping soon, an EP hopefully dropping in either early spring. So there's a lot coming out soon. So we're gonna be a busy couple months, and we're real excited about it.
Oh, and we're playing a show in Jersey when December 5th.
It's gonna be before this airs. So
Oh shit! Never mind. Disregard.
yeah.
Disregard.
So
This is
we'll
our first show.
we'll throw something up about it anyway. So
Yeah.
we'll-
Fair.
And you can definitely keep an eye out on our socials, on the Bacon Is My Podcast socials to know when their record's out and when the video's out and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
we
always
do
kinda-
the New Music Friday,
Music
and
Fridays and everything like that. Thank
you guys are now a part of the BIMP family, so sorry, and we're gonna tag the shit out of you. on all sorts
Apologies.
of stuff.
Hey, dude, I love it. Anytime you guys
Yeah.
want us back, always down to come
Yeah,
back.
please.
You guys have been awesome. Talk about
Yeah.
some more wrestling. You know, this was
Yeah.
once they told me, because they actually told me that you guys were wrestling fans. This
Yeah.
shirt was just a coincidence. I swear, I put it on to go to ShopRite and I just didn't take it off. But so I was really excited to come on this podcast and be able to like shoot shit with you guys about wrestling for a little bit. So that was definitely cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had
I
a
got
great- we had a great
my
time.
Malachi Black shirt on, so
Love it. How do you like what they're doing with him right now? How do you feel
I
about
love
that?
it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love him.
I'm waiting for it to get even better.
It's gonna get better.
I like where it is, but I'd like.
I'm
it
just
to
over
be-
Cody Rhodes right now.
I'm
just over Cody Rhodes until he
You know who else
eventually
is?
turns heel. I'm over it.
You know who else is Cody like over Cody Rhodes? Everybody except
Everyone?
for Cody Rhodes.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
He loves himself.
Yeah,
he really does. But hopefully,
If I was him,
it
I'd
makes
love
sense.
myself too. He's got it going pretty well.
Yeah,
He's got a pretty good life.
He's doing all right.
Yeah,
he's doing all right. That guy. That's why we hate him.
That's
exactly.
probably
That's why I
why
hate him.
everybody hates him.
That's why he
So-
needs to turn heel already. He just needs to turn heel and challenge for the AEW title and piss everybody off even more.
I like
That's
it.
what he's gonna
Right?
do.
But he's not gonna. 'Cause
He's not
like,
going to,
I'm not
because-
going to be Triple H. Shut up.
Yeah,
He's gonna do it, and he's gonna hit a pedigree when he does it. That's what's gonna happen.
Absolutely. And then everybody
That-
will love him.
that would be awesome. That'd be nuclear heat, but
Yep.
instead,
And it's gonna be on somebody we all
elicit an
love
amazing
too.
reaction.
Like it's gonna be on like Darby or like somebody we all
Right.
love.
Right.
And then he'll get the heat he deserves, actually. So
I'm also enjoying the not so subtle Brian Danielson turn that's happening.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I love it because he's awesome. He's one of my
he
top.
can cut a
Heel Daniel
promo
Bryan
like
is always fire. Heel Daniel Bryan's great. Like when he was doing the whole vegan elitist championship run, where
his
he brought
wooden
out, like,
title belt.
The organic title belt made out of wood and hemp.
Right.
Like
that's fantastic.
Absolutely great. Love it.
Yeah, but yeah, you guys, you're always welcome.
Yeah,
If
we'll
you're
definitely
ever
have you
hanging
guys.
out.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
We'll definitely talk more wrestling sometime and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. So with that said, thank you guys for coming.
Yeah.
And
Thank you. For real.
Thank you for having us.
listeners,
It was awesome.
watchers, always remember to ask yourself one super important question.
Yeah, most
throughout the
important
week.
question ever. Andy, Chris, do you guys know what it is?
I do. I think I can do this one for you guys.
Yeah, what do you got?
What is your bacon?
What's your bacon?
What's your bacon?
Perfect. I like them.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun.
Yeah,
there were a lot of cool moments in there, a lot of cool discussions. We'll definitely have them on again.
Absolutely.
I think it's important.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're going to be recurring
guests. We have a few of those.
We do.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty exciting.
It's pretty cool that like people
want to come back.
Yeah, are willing to come back.
It's pretty awesome that any of you that are listening
keep coming back.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we want to especially thank you guys. Thank you for making us last a year and keep wanting to do this. And keep enjoying this. You guys keep making it fun. While we're talking about fun, where can they find your fun stuff?
My fun stuff, personally, is at me, my own self, Mike, on the Twitter, Instagram, and the Facebook. My band, Something Heavy, we've got a new single out.
Yeah.
It's called Shell.
It's pretty excellent.
Thank you. So we have a new single out this month. We had one last month called Surface. So go check that out on the Spotifys and the Apple Musics and the Deezers.
Yeah.
And titles.
Deezers.
Jimsy.
Yes, sir.
What about you?
You can find my band, Craving Strange, at cravingstrange.net. And from there, you can find all of our socials. And we are also on all the Deezers and Spotifys and things like that. We have a new song coming out, I believe, next month. I said it, so now I got to do it. Also, you can find me, Jimmy G Shoes, at Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And you can talk to me there. And as always, you can find Bacon Is My Passion, our music, on Spotify and Apple Music. And you can also find everything Bacon Is My Passion, as well as Bacon Is My Podcast, at baconismypodcast.com.
Yes.
And we have a new song coming out as well.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, it's coming out. I didn't give a date. It's definitely coming out.
All I want to say is you might want to check out the BIMP Awards this January 3rd.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got musical guests. We've got awards to give out. We've got fun stuff happening. And it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
So, guys, stay tuned. Thank you for sticking around with us and hanging out. And always remember to ask yourself the most important question you'll ever ask yourself this week.
What's your bacon?
Cool.
I